To continue with the floating pointer, there is something I realized we didn't cover. So, at times we have to manipulate the floating point output. For example, pi, output for pi. Pi according to our Google is 3.14 3.1415926 and the numbers continues to infinity. We can't finish the number. So at times we want to just output the first 2 or the first 3, the first 4. If you only, it depends on the floating point number. You only want to output the first 2 digits, 0.14, right? We're going to use something called, in our float we're going to use .2f. So, which means if we want to output 3, we'll change this to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6. Let's do a sample. Let's call it 2. Now, so we will use a math. We want to use a pi. So we'll say, let's use pi. I want us to use the just pi. So we want to output. We want to print the output for pi. So print. Let's print out what pi is. Print default value for pi. Pi is we say math.pi. Okay, we can't just say pi, we have to pick pi from a math library. So if we want to reduce math to, we now just want to print to 4 points, right? We want to reduce to 4 digits, so we'll say print there's something wrong here. Let's print okay, before we do that, let's just see what the result here gives us. I'm supposed to put a comma here. Exactly. So let's go to the folder where this is. So when you say python 2.py, you see we get a very long file, 3.141592653. Now we just want to print the first 4, so we'll say print pi reduce to 4 digits, 4 digit value, 4 digits after decimal is so we'll want to look there. We have the space there, then we print double comma here. No. Then we print the method.py. Just what we had initially, method.py. Method.py. Then we now want to, here is now where the 4f comes in. Sorry. Now here is where we do the dot 4. Now this is where we tell it we just want 4 digits after the decimal, right? I hope that's clear. So when we print this next time, when we do a pi, it shows 3.1461. 3.1416. Sorry. Now from this, 1, 2, 3, 4. Why do we have a 6 yet? The number here is 5. I hope it's clear that being a math function, it just rounds, because the next number is 9, it just rounds up the 5 to 6. I hope that's clear. So instead of us having all of these numbers, using the dot 4f makes reduce the digits to 1416. I hope that's clear. We can do one more example, then we can go. Then we can proceed to our next lesson. And I hope this is clear. In case it's not clear, we're going to. I'll just want you to write me down in the comment section. Then we can go about it. So let's say a user wants to calculate. Let's say the user wants to know the number of paint needed to cover a wall, right? So which means it's equals to the wall total area divided by 350. So we're going to, let me just write the question here. So there's a person who wants to use paint to paint a wall, whereby 1 gallon of paint covers 350 square feet, right? So we're going to say the number of gallons is equals to wall area divided by 350, because we have said 1 gallon covers 350 square feet. Now, based on the gallons we have, gallons of paint we have, what's the size of wall that you can cover? Now we're going to say let's see. So we're going to say gallons per wall. One gallon of paint covers 350, right? 350 square feet. So a user inputs the number of paint they have. Then we have to now calculate the size of the wall they're going to cover. So you'll want to cover it to 5-point area. So if the variable, no, let's use let's say we've said here we're going to say 1 gallon of paint covers paint. Okay, 50 square feet. Now let's go step by step. We want to take in the wall area size from a user. So we're going to say wall area wall area is equals to, we're going to take it in a float so that the number of paint we're going to output will be in a float. So it's float, then input. We're going to ask the user to enter the wall area size. Oh, sorry. The wall area size. Right. So once the user has entered the wall area size, now let's just compute the number of columns. Okay, so we're going to say number of the columns. Gallons is equals to wall area divided by 350, whereby we can assign we can assign 350 square feet to, let's say, a variable called a. So I'll want to assign 350.0 to a value called a. So here I'll say it's equals to wall area divided by a. I hope that does not bring any confusion. I say 350 divided by, since I have assigned a to 350, which is a, we have just used it, but I've just assigned to a variable so that it becomes a little bit neat. So to calculate the, so we can easily print, we can say we can print the number of gallons, but we want to have it in 5 point a minute. We want to have it in 5 point. We want to have it in 5.5 digits after the decimal. So what we're going to do is we're going to print. We're going to do print this. So we're going to print number of gallons, which is so we input here the number of gallons what we just have, and then as we did in our previous example, we use a colon here, then input the number of how many points do we have to have it after the decimal. So here we said we want to have 5 floats. So when you do this, we're going to say we're going to have 5 floats. Let's run this and see what we have. So we'll say Python gallons.py. The first question we have is enter the size of the wall. So we enter the size of the wall as 525 to give us 1.12345. This is 5. Let's put another. So we can say that the area of the size 5225. When we use 5,225 square feet, the size of the wall, divided by 350, which is 1 gallon. A gallon covers 350 square feet. So how many? So what's the size of square feet that? What's the number of gallons that will cover? 5,225 square feet. 1 gallon covers 350 square feet, right? Out of 5,225 square feet will be covered by how many gallons of paint? So it means it's 14. According to our calculation, it's 14.925. I hope that's clear. And the explanation to floating point notation is clear up to that extent. In case there's anyone with a question, you can put it in the comment section and then we'll cover it together. I guess that's it. Thanks for your time. Before I go, you can add text here saying there are lots to be covered of paint needed this. Yeah, so you can now run downloads of paint needed this. That's now clear. Thanks for your time. Let me meet in our next discussion. Have a good one.